Hey, it's Veronica, the heart dietitian. I just hopped off a call with one of my clients who successfully has lowered her cholesterol using diet and nutrition advice. And I was just so excited for her, and she had some aha moments. So I thought I would share them here. And I wanted to kind of go over 5 ways that my client was able to lower her cholesterol using food recommendations by me, a registered dietitian. So, what was interesting at the end of our call today, she had said, "You know what, Veronica, I feel so much better. I know my cholesterol is low because I feel better." I kind of questioned that statement because having a lower cholesterol, we don't necessarily feel that. It's just something obviously that's happening in our body, that our cholesterol is kind of building up on our artery walls. It's causing the plaque buildup and it's blocking the flow of our blood, and our heart has to work harder. So, a lot of things are happening behind the scenes, but it doesn't necessarily affect us. Maybe that's something that you could relate to. You've gone to your doctor and they said, "Hey, your cholesterol is high," and you're kind of shocked, like, "Oh, that's weird. I've been eating well, I've been exercising, I've been doing all the things. I don't feel any different, but my lab work is saying that my cholesterol is high." So when she had questioned or sorry, when she had said, "Hey, Veronica, I feel better. I know it's because my cholesterol is low," and I kind of said, "No, actually, it's not because your cholesterol is low. It's because of all the other changes that you've made." So hear me out. So we know that high cholesterol, high blood pressure is risk factors for heart disease or heart attack or stroke, right? So we want to minimize cholesterol, we want to minimize blood pressure. But what are risk factors for high cholesterol and high blood pressure? Have you ever thought of that? So things like lack of energy, not sleeping well, cravings, inactivity, overeating processed foods, gut issues, irritability, weight gain. All of these are actually risk factors to low cholesterol and low blood pressure. And so when you work with me, a registered dietitian, we kind of tackle those risk factors to bring down your cholesterol and your blood pressure. And when we tackle those issues, that's what actually makes you feel better, right? And who doesn't want to feel better? So back to my client. So she said, "Hey, Veronica, I'm feeling so much better." And I said, "Yes, you are, because you made so many changes." So I wanted to walk you through the 5 that she made. So the first one is she stopped drinking juice. So she had a juice every morning. It's something she's always had since she was a little girl, a way to get her fruit intake. She knows vitamin C is good for her. The ads on the TV, the magazines, all the things, they do suggest drinking juice to get some of those vitamins and minerals that we need. But a lot of the time, juice is really high in sugar. So it's not added sugar, like they're not adding like white sugar to juice. But when you think of making juice, you have an orange and you squeeze out all of the sugar in the juice, or sorry, sugar in the fruit to make the juice. And then what's left behind is the fiber and a lot of the vitamins and minerals. So then we drink the juice and it goes into our stomach. It doesn't even have to be digested because it's already in sugar, like a sugar molecule. And so it moves from your stomach into your blood, raises your blood sugar pretty quickly. Then your body has to work really hard to bring down your blood sugar into a target that it likes to be at. So then your pancreas has to work really hard to secrete insulin to match the sugar intake, to move the sugar from the blood into the muscle cells. So it's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Then you have this dramatic decrease of the blood sugar. A lot of people feel that, and often they feel it in a way of reducing their energy. So you get a quick burst of energy when you drink juice, but then your body's working hard to bring it down, and that kind of lowering of the blood sugar could be a result of having just feeling yucky, reduced energy often. So that was one strategy she used. The other thing with juice is when we drink too much juice, it could be directly linked to your triglyceride numbers. So if your triglycerides are high and you're drinking juice, that's definitely something that could be reduced in order to lower that triglyceride level. So that's number one. Number two, she came to me and she had a lot of cravings at night. Oftentimes, I ask people to have like a little food diary for me, like write out what they're eating before we meet, just so that I get an idea of foods that they like and foods that they're eating. And actually, on her food diary, it said, I can't stop eating at night. I'm always hungry, even right after dinner time. And so, usually, when we eat a good dinner, a balanced dinner, which she was doing, we shouldn't really feel hungry an hour, 2 hours after. Like it takes about 3, 4 hours for our body to really digest that food we had for dinner. So if you're feeling these cravings or you're feeling hunger during that time, it's something to kind of dig into. When we looked at what was happening in her day, what happened is she woke up, she had her juice and a well balanced breakfast. Then she went to work and she was so busy at work. She was just on the go and she was an owner of a store. So she never took a lunch break, right? She said there's customers always coming in, people always asking for her. She had employees, but a lot of people asked for her and she just never took that lunch break. So she'd snack here and there. And then when she got home, she had a dinner meal and then she had these cravings. So what we decided to do was actually stop and have a lunch break. That was the strategy number 2. I know it sounds pretty simple, but having a lunch break, actually eating a well-balanced meal, actually nourishing your body can reduce cravings later on. And that's because often cravings at nighttime is your body's way of communicating to you to say, hey, you know what? You didn't nourish me enough during the day. I still need some of these nutrients and energy. And a lot of the time, our body just communicates that in the form of sugar, like that craving sugar, because it's a quick form of energy. And that's what your body's saying. I need more energy. You didn't eat enough during the day. So we found a place for her to work or to eat her lunch at work. She had a little storage room on top of her store. So she went up there and didn't take long. It was like 10-15 minute break, and she just took leftovers kind of from the night before. So it was really well balanced, nourishing meal. And that actually reduced her cravings at nighttime. And she didn't even realize this. I had brought it up when we were talking about things that she was doing well. And I said, your cravings are gone. You're not overeating at night. And she's like, I'm not. It didn't even occur to her because she didn't have those intense cravings she was feeling, which was such a great win, right? Because a lot of the time when we snack at night, we're eating a lot of processed foods, right? A lot of quick, easy, snacky foods that maybe are high in sugar, processed, salt as well. Maybe not a lot of nutrients that are supporting heart health. So they're not actually doing us any favors when we're eating those foods. So instead, we replace those calories with a nutrient dense, well balanced meal at lunch, and voila, those nutrients at lunch then were able to help her lower cholesterol levels. And then she eliminated the kind of the nutrients or the food, I guess, in the evening that was increasing her cholesterol levels. So that was a win-win. So the third thing that we did was focusing on a specific type of fiber called soluble fiber or viscous fiber. Adding more soluble or viscous fiber is an important part of the portfolio diet. And the portfolio diet is an eating pattern that can reduce cholesterol levels. I have a great video about it here. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it here. And in fact, I've written a whole book about it as well. You can find that in the comments or description below. It's not only describes the portfolio diet, but also provides some recipes that follow the portfolio diet. And one of the strategies in the portfolio diet is to eat enough soluble fiber. Soluble fiber is something that when we eat it, it kind of attaches to cholesterol molecules in the gut, and then it's excreted when we go to the washroom. So eating enough of this specific type of fiber can eliminate cholesterol. However, a lot of the time when we think about fiber, we think about the other type of fiber, which is called insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is likely more like the bran when you think of fiber, right? Like you eat bran so that you go to the washroom more often. But the soluble fiber actually doesn't make you go to the bathroom more often. It just makes you have like a better bowel movement when you're doing it, and it's excreting those extra cholesterol molecules or excreting the waste as you're doing it as well. So soluble fiber things that we added were things like flaxseed, more beans and legumes, avocado, as well as some prunes. And that adding those kind of foods throughout the day helped her have these nice form bowel movements. She wasn't constipated. Being constipated also affects you're bloated, you feel uncomfortable, you feel sluggish, your pants don't fit. So being able to have that regular bowel movement, eliminate the waste, eliminate the cholesterol, helped her lower her cholesterol levels and also made her feel really good. Another important thing we worked on was sleep. So oftentimes, when she came to me, she said she wasn't sleeping well. She would wake up often during the night, and when she woke up in the morning, she never felt rested. So we looked at her sleep hygiene and also her alcohol intake. She was having a few glasses of wine to decompress after a long day at work, and that wine does affect your sleep during the night. So we removed some of that and found other strategies to decompress and make her feel good about her long, hard work day. And that was rewarding. Had some good sleep hygiene practices in place, which helped her to sleep better at night, wake up feeling energized and rested. How good does that feel? And then the last strategy, the fifth strategy was actually weight loss. She lost weight in this process because we added so many nutrient dense foods, a lot of plant foods. They fill you up. And they keep you full for a longer amount of time. You eat less processed food as a result. She was eating less processed foods in the evening and more foods during the day. So sometimes when you front load your day with the calories, then you're moving all day, you're doing your errands, you're thinking, you're just doing more than usually we do at nighttime when it's more of a sit down, watch TV, read a book, go to bed kind of strategy. So if we can front load our day with the calories, then we burn them throughout the day instead of when we sit down, we just kind of hoard our calories because we don't need to use them. So that was really helpful. And then obviously tweaking some of the foods that she was eating to make them more nutrient dense, higher in fiber. She was able to lose weight as a result, which also helps to reduce cholesterol levels. So yeah, it was a really successful client meeting. We've been working together for 3 months, and she had her cholesterol levels rechecked. They went down, and it was just a really great meeting. And I wanted to summarize as such a great client success for you guys. And hopefully that helps to provide some inspiration of things that maybe you could try to incorporate into your diet and lifestyle. Hope that helps. See you next week.